teaching, pharmacy, law, all of it. And then it does not impact, major does not impact your admissions to Georgia Tech. So when you apply and you turn your application, they actually don't look at what major you are. They look at your credentials and solely your credentials. And then minor certificates are available for all majors, and I'm just listing the majors. We have so many minors, I can't list it all. I'm not as well versed in that one. So admissions criteria, this is where all the parents are taking notes, and my mom did that, and I did that. So we had a very, very smart incoming freshman class. The GPA mid 50% was 3.72 to 4.06. So that means there's 25% of students that were below 3.72 and there were 25 students above 4.06. And you're probably wondering, why is it 4.06? I thought the highest you could get is a 4.0. Well, that's because at Georgia Tech, we don't take away any of your AP points. So I know for Psych, they give you, an additional 1 for if you take AP. In Fulton County, they give you 7 points for AP classes. A lot of schools strips it away. Georgia Tech retains it and gives you an additional 0.5. So, and also Georgia Tech is all you don't have to mail in a transcript. It's all self-reporting. So you put exactly what's your transcript onto our website, and that's it. So that's why our GPA is fairly high. Also, our SAT, ACT, mid-SAT, 1900 to 2130. Once again, 25% below, 25% above. ACT, 27 to 32. However, at Georgia Tech, we look at 4 criteria. We look at your SAT, your standardized score, your GPA, your extracurricular activity, and your essay. They are weighted the same. There's no greater weight on your GPA or on your scores. So we're looking for a well-rounded applicant. Rigor is very, very important. Like what Mr. Litt said, if you could take AP, take AP, but make sure you are interested in that class when you take it, and don't let your GPA suffer because you took it. Also, the dates and deadline. This is a little different from what I presented last year. This year, Georgia Tech no longer does a rolling admissions because we have a really high demand. So we moved up 1 application date. The early action is due October 1st, and you will find out your admissions in November. This way you'll know early if you really do want to come to Georgia Tech, and you know you do, apply for this one. Also, November 1st is the Presidential Scholarship Program deadline. This is the only scholarship that Georgia Tech as a school offers for financial aid. This is based on merit. However, there's no separate application for students. I know you are bombarded with application after application after application. All you have to do to apply for that program is to finish the Georgia Tech application. The PS office will look at all the students and pick out students that they feel meet the criteria and ask for an interview. It's a very rigorous process. There's 2 interviews. We offer around 100 to the entire entering student body. So it's very, very rare, but it's a great, great opportunity. So if you want to apply for that one, just make sure you apply before November 1st. It shouldn't be very hard. You just write your essay, you put your transcript up there, you don't even have to mail it to the school, and then you just send it in. For all the regular decision, it's due January 15th at midnight, and you'll be notified mid-March. And then housing is due May 1st, so if you do come to Georgia Tech, get your housing in as early as possible so you can get your best choices. Also, here's the estimated cost for in-state Georgia students. So the tuition is $7,070. You can see all the fees, see the total. I think all of you know this. You have done your research. You know Georgia Tech is a great investment. So I don't think there's anything else I can say. Books and supplies, it's just usually a little bit lower. It's not exactly $1,000. And then that's basically right. Also, scholarships and financial aid. You have the Presidential Scholar. If you apply before November, you're automatically considered. You have the Hope Scholarship. Hope right now covers my entire tuition and fees. So all you have to do is worry about living expenses, some other fees that Georgia Tech throws in, and your room and board. Also, there's the Management Dean Scholarship. This is something unique to management. So if you're interested in business, please go on management's website, mgt.godtech.edu. They offer, full rides as well, but this is not through the admissions office. Also, you could go down, we have something called the Tech Promise. If your total household income is less than $33,000, Georgia Tech makes you a promise of matching. So this way you can go to school for debt-free. Don't forget your FAFSA form is due March 1st. Okay, this is the Tech Promise I was talking to you about. It's nothing special. You just put in the Tech Financial Aid application and they'll get back to you. This is something that our old president, G. Wayne Clough, started, and this is a great way for you to go to school debt-free. And it's promise.godtech.edu. So anytime you need to find anything, remember it's always GodTech, G-A-T-E-C-H. So admissions is admissions at godtech.edu. So you should definitely visit Tech. Tech offers a lot of tours. Tech offers a lot of, visiting program. Connect with Tech. You can stay overnight with a student of your major and go around campus, go to classes. It's really important for the student to like the campus and like the class. So you should definitely go and sign up for one of these. We have a lot of receptions coming up for admitted students. So please, if you do get admitted and are considering Georgia Tech, please come to one of our sessions. And then I think this is the end of my presentation, but I just also want to give you some tips on when I applied and how it worked. Okay. It's important to have a good math grade, but it's also the same importance to have a great, well-balanced. So, take math all 4 years. I don't think that's anything new. Take science. But however, take your history. Take language arts. Do a well-balanced curriculum. Also, if you do decide to stay at Georgia Tech or stay in Georgia, do a joint enrollment for your English, because you can get both credits and you don't have to take it English anymore at Georgia Tech. Take your APs, take your sciences, and make sure you do well on them. We only take 5s. So 4s, I'm sorry, you have to take it over again. AP Calculus, who's in AP Calculus? AP Calculus, we take 4s and 5s. So you just get to know the scores, and if you take advantage of it, you could really do well and get a lot of your credits subtracted. You won't have to take 4 sciences. You won't have to take Calc 1. You could go to Calc 2, Calc 3, CVQ. Also, make sure you're looking at the professors who are doing research. Go to each school's website and read about the professors. And then on the first day of school, just go up to them and be like, hey professor, this. I'm really, really, really intrigued by the research that you're doing. And more than likely, they will ask you to help them and work in a lab. Most of my friends do work in an undergraduate research lab. Also, Georgia Tech, get it in early. Get your application in early, this way you'll find out and you'll at least have a choice. I made the mistake of not applying until January 15th. And, I wish I applied earlier, because that way I didn't have to fill out the other 7 applications. Also, I know a lot of you are looking at schools, but I think 7 is a magic number, or even less. 5 is even good, because you do one school that, it's your backup, that you'll get into. You do, 2 to 3 schools that, you're average, you're on par, you'll probably get into, it's a good chance. And then you do your shoot schools. This way you don't bombard your student with so many applications that they don't want to fill it out anymore. And I know the admissions counselor probably don't want to hear this, but recycle your essays. If I had to write 12 essays, I might have killed myself. I'm not saying turn in the same one for every school, but use the same idea. You don't have to write a new one every single time. That gets very hazardous, and no one wants to do that, because you still have to study for your AP exams, and you still have to apply for scholarships. You don't have to write 20 essays. Take your SAT early. Don't wait until the December SAT to take it. Take it early, have your scores down. At Georgia Tech, we do a super score, so if you send in 2 SAT scores, we take the highest, and then we combine it. Also, we do something for ACT. We do a combination of SAT and ACT. Let's say you did really, really well on your ACT math. You got a perfect score. However, you did better on your SAT verbal. We take the 2 scores and we combine it. So this way, you could do a little grouping. Also, do well in the writing. We're starting to look at the writing section. That way, I've read somewhere in the New York Times that the writing section is the best indicator of how a student will do in classes, because